Hey everyone, let's jump right into this explainer and summarize a true classic, Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog. This is pretty much the ultimate playbook for conquering procrastination and maximizing your impact. If you've ever felt completely, hopelessly overwhelmed by a massive to-do list, you are in the exact right place.
But first, let me start off by asking you a question. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Do you routinely distract yourself with really easy tasks as a way to avoid doing the harder, much more important ones? I mean, be honest with yourself. Do you ever find yourself suddenly inspired to deep clean the entire house, organize your digital files, run random errands, or apply to absolutely every unread message in your inbox, right when you really truly should be focusing on a major project? Yeah, we've all been there.
To help fix that, here's our roadmap for this book summary review. We're going to cover 1. The procrastination trap, 2. Frogs versus tadpoles, 3. Finding your biggest frog, 4. The value of contribution, and 5. How to eat frogs. All right, section 1, the procrastination trap. This is exactly what happens when we avoid our high-impact tasks by staying busy with small, comfortable, daily activities that feel super productive in the moment, but actually aren't moving the needle at all. Moving right along to section 2, frogs versus tadpoles. Categorizing your tasks this way is really how you break out of that trap.
So, what exactly is a frog? Well, Brian Tracy defines your frog as your biggest, most important task, the one you are literally most likely to procrastinate on if you don't actively take action. It's that heavy, looming project that's always in the back of your mind. But here's the kicker. It's also the single task that has the absolute greatest potential impact on your career right at this very moment.
The contrast here is super clear. On one side, we have frogs. They're massive, they're ugly, but man, they are incredibly high impact. On the other side, we have tadpoles. These are small, insignificant, and really easy to digest. The core problem is that we let ourselves get totally distracted by the tiny tadpoles just swimming around our to-do list, and as a result, we completely lose sight of the frogs. Section 3, finding your biggest frog. To actually diagnose your tasks, you can play a little mental game. Imagine leaving your master list completely untouched for an entire week. Which of those unfinished tasks would cause a total, fatal disaster? Those fatal tasks are directly tied to your key result areas, or KRAs. These are the areas where you absolutely must get results to succeed. They are basically essential to keeping your professional role alive. Brian Tracy actually compares them to vital organs in the human body, like your heart or your brain. I mean, if your heart stops functioning, the entire body shuts down, right? Same thing here. If you fail completely in a key result area, your job or your business terminates. You really have to step back and ask yourself, why am I actually on the payroll? And you know, when you look through your list with that strict lens, you'll realize something incredibly liberating. Unfinished tadpoles, they are uncomfortable, but they are absolutely not fatal. Missing a tadpole task is kind of like getting your wisdom teeth pulled. Sure, it's painful, you might have a scar, or you might temporarily upset someone by missing an email, but it's not going to kill your career. You will survive. If a task doesn't significantly impact your key result areas over the long term, it's just a tadpole. Let it swim by. Okay, section 4, the value of contribution. This relies on what we call the one thing rule. Basically, what one task could you do all day long that would bring the absolute greatest value? This brings us right to the core thesis of the book. As Tracy writes, perhaps the most important word in the world of work is contribution. And it's so true. Your financial and emotional rewards in life will always be in direct proportion to your contribution, whether you're contributing to your company, your clients, or your audience. That is where your true undeniable value lies. Now, here is a massive number I want you to remember. 90%. Tracy has this golden rule. If you ask yourself that greatest contribution question 3 separate times and pinpoint your top 3 tasks, those 3 tasks alone will account for 90% of the value you provide. 90%! That means literally everything else you do is just fighting over that remaining 10%. So your biggest frog is almost certainly sitting right there in your top 3. Which brings us to section 5, how to eat frogs. Let's move into the actionable execution phase so you can actually get to work and tackle those big tasks. Tracy's advice here is blunt and totally uncompromising. Eat the biggest and ugliest frog before anything else. Do the worst first. If you're staring at your list and you're stuck between 2 massive, really ugly frogs, you gotta tackle the most intimidating thing immediately. Doing that provides this massive surge of relief, satisfaction, and confidence, and it just supercharges your momentum for the rest of your day.
So let's break this down into a repeatable playbook for eating big frogs. Step 1, do the worst first. Step 2, focus solely on the next 10 minutes. Honestly, don't look at the whole giant frog. It is way too overwhelming. Just ask yourself, what tiny initial result can I achieve in the next 10 minutes to just get moving in the right direction? And finally, step 3, remind yourself of the last bite. Whenever you feel that overwhelm creeping back in, use a recent success, a bite of a frog you've already eaten, to fuel your confidence to take the very next bite. So, why do we put ourselves through this difficult process? Well, the ultimate payoff is having more time for the people and things you love, with absolutely zero guilt. By finding your biggest frog and eating it right away, you are drastically maximizing your work time. That means when you log off, you actually log off. You won't have the heavy, stressful weight of an unfinished, massive task just sitting on your shoulder during your precious free time. I want to end this explainer with a provocative question for you to really ponder today. Look at your to-do list right now. What is the absolute ugliest frog you need to eat today? It's time to stop letting the tadpoles distract you, identify your frog, sit down, take that first 10-minute bite, and just watch how it completely transforms your day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderfully productive week ahead.